We are going to take them chronologically. So we're going to start with the kiddos because then Jennifer's going to get out of here and go be with the kiddos. And then we'll do youth, and then we'll do adults at the end. So we'll kind of take them chronologically. Let me say a quick prayer, then I want to say a few more introductory things, and then I'll have Jennifer come up. So let us pray. Dear gracious God, I give you thanks for all of the many, many blessings in our lives, for life and for love and for friends and for family, and above all, for the immeasurable love you poured into our world through your Son Jesus, and for the ways that love shows up and is manifest among us in this life and friendship we get to share at St. Julian's. And I pray that as another fall kicks off of spiritual formation, that you would use it to fall more in love with you, to fall more in love with each other, to grow more and more into the people and place that you've called us to be, Lord. You continually inspire, fill us with your wisdom and with your joy. And I thank you for everybody who teaches and leads in this congregation. And I ask your blessing on each of them. And we love you, and we pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. So just a quick word before Jennifer comes up and does the kiddos. First of all, Jennifer and Elle and everybody, use this mic, please. This is being recorded for those who can't be here today, and this is what is recording you audioly. And so I'm happy to say we're moving that camera on Friday to that side of the room. It was a huge oversight. So that, when people are online doing Christian education, they're not seeing the side of the face of the teacher, but can actually see the teacher and the screen, quite frankly. So anyway, that'll be happening before we kick off next Sunday. I just want to say, I really see spiritual formation and worship as kind of two sides of the Sunday morning coin. I really feel like there are four major pillars to the Christian life, to deepening our life with God in Christ. And two we do on Sunday morning together at least. One is worship. One is spiritual formation, intentional opportunities to grow and learn about our faith. Three, personal prayer, the prayer that we do in the mornings and the evenings. And four is service, serving those in need. Those are, for me, the four pillars. We lean into those. We become who God called us to be. We find joy, meaning, and purpose in our lives, and we grow closer to God and each other. That's what I believe. And that's through my experience that I believe that to be true. But on Sunday mornings, principally, we do two of those things. Sometimes we build manna bags, which is kind of service, and probably people are doing a lot of personal prayer. But the two big ones are worship and spiritual formation. And I really think those two things inform each other. That the act of worship opens up our learning, and doing the learning opens us up to experiencing God in worship. I really think that they're connected. And so I just want to encourage you to make worship and spiritual formation a part of your Sunday morning plan. 2 hours here at church. And just as a reminder for those who are parents of small kids, they can't drive themselves to church, and when you leave, they have to leave. That's just kind of, you know that. And so I would just say, the ministry that Jennifer and her teachers offer on Sunday mornings is between services and Christian education, which is different than Children's Chapel, is rich and rewarding. And if you go home after church, then your kids go home with you, And so I hope that you'll remember that as well, to let them take advantage of that as well. And I'll stop there and invite Jennifer to come up and talk about that.
Sure, go ahead. Perfect.
There you go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jennifer Cowles. I'm the Children's Ministry Coordinator here at St. Julian's. I want to talk a little bit about our Sunday morning offerings. So we first of all have Children's Chapel that takes place during both services. The kids usually come out at the hymn before the gospel and come back to you guys at the peace about 25 minutes or so. We use lessons from sermons for kids. And usually it's like an object lesson where I have an object of some sort that ties into the lesson. Last week it was like a bent teaspoon, which, was really intriguing to the kids. Today it was a balloon, and we were supposed to pop it, but we voted, and they decided they did not want me to pop a balloon. So, but it really engages the kids a lot. Usually I'll give them a tablet to draw on, like one of those little kind of, toy tablets, or something to color with, or Play-Doh, and I'll give them a challenge of something to make that ties into the lesson. So then we get to go around and show and share, what they made, and then we'll talk about how it ties into our lesson. So sermons for kids, and we use an order of service that mirrors big church. So we have like the creed and like different prayers, the same as you guys do in big church. I have about 3 different orders of services that I rotate every 3 months or so. And so next Sunday, new month, we'll start a different order of service. And the kids really love the videos and the lessons and the prayers and the songs that we do with it. We are looking for volunteers to assist when we have a large group of children, or to lead Children's Chapel when I am going to be out. So if any of you are interested and you want to come and shadow me one day, that would be awesome. You can see what we do. So we would really appreciate that. And then Sunday school takes place at 10:20 to 11:05. We use the Jesus Storybook Bible curriculum for both of our classes. Pre-K through second grade are in the yellow room. 3rd through 5th are in the blue room. But we will differentiate the activities for the different age groups, right? So they'll have it tailored to their developmental needs. We're looking for volunteers to lead either age group on a rotating schedule. I've had some people volunteer, so that's awesome, but we're always looking for volunteers. And children can attend whether they're here often or for only one Sunday. So each lesson kind of stands alone, and they're welcome to come at any time. So if you would like to volunteer with our children's ministry team, come see me. And if there are any questions, I can answer those at this time. No? Anything else I'm missing?
So,
Okay.
I'll
Have to come off.
okay. There you got it. Yeah. I'll let you go. Yeah. Before we transition to youth, I will just say a couple things. One, I want to say is we're really blessed to have Jennifer here. Do you know that she's most of you know her entire adult life vocation has been in the service of children, and currently is a reading specialist in Leander Independent School District, working with the same age group she works with at St. Julian's. And so she's a true professional, and we're very blessed to have her here. And so anyway, really grateful for that. And again, I really hope that you'll encourage children to participate. I think that last bullet is just to underline that. What we're trying to suggest, I think, is that we want people to come regularly. But if you haven't, that doesn't mean you can't come, right? Like if you there's some kinds of programs where, like, if you're not there at the beginning, you've kind of missed out, because there's sometimes that makes sense for groups. Like, it's about building intimacy and vulnerability, and so you don't want people moving in and out of them. But Sunday school is not like that. Like, if you join St. Julian's in the middle of October, come. But if you're already a part of St. Julian's, you just haven't been able to come yet, just come. You're welcome. Yeah, what were you going to say, Nan? That's right.
I love what I do.
And I'm always amazed that like the kids go out, and I'm like, well, I guess there's a few people left to preach to. It's like there's so many kids on those Sundays. It's really wonderful. And that's not, guys, that's not like most of the Episcopal Church. 35 to 40% of our congregation is under the age of 18. When you look at the total universe of the 500 people who call St. Julian's home, that's not average Sunday attendance. That's closer to 200. But anyway, and so So I think there's a lot already happening, and there's so much more that can. So thanks. Okay, all right. I will stop now. And who wants to go first, Demery or Elle? Or y'all want to come up together? Are y'all a team? Okay, let me go to the next slide. But you're going to go. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so as you guys know, our youth group is rooted in fun and faith and fellowship, all in love. And it's open to 6th graders, so if you're going to be a 6th grader in the fall, all the way through high school seniors. And this year, we're jumping into our curriculum right away, which I know is going to be a huge relief for all of the students. So Demery's going to be running our confirmation program for our high school students. And then for our middle school students, we'll be using a more complex version of the curriculum that we've been using, which they really like, and I think Demery's going to talk a bit more about that too. So we're really excited to kind of shake things up while, relying on the things that have worked for us. Fun things that we're doing, the cornerstones obviously remain the Sweet Eats trip, which people always ask about, our progressive dinner where we go around to different homes of the kids' families and we have a different stage of the meal, which is always really fun. And then this year we'll be doing a Texas Stars and the lock-in again, which we did last year and the kids really enjoyed. This year we're also adding in an All Saints celebration, so Demery's going to walk the kids through that. And then Sarah, who couldn't be here today, has got a lot of really fun games, and we'll do a costume contest. So we have a lot of really good things on the radar for the fall semester. The kickoff is going to be a swim party, which we always begin and end with a swim party. So if you guys are interested in coming, we are trying to rely a little bit more on Breeze to get those registrations so we know how much food to get and how many people to expect and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, definitely RSVP for our swim party. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me or Demery. We both are on the email list. I don't know, I think it's going to be really awesome. So any questions? Oh, yes, it is a pilgrimage year, which is why you see fundraising on there, which we're very excited to get better at. We've narrowed it down, Demery and I have narrowed it down to kind of 3 different locations that we're thinking about, and we're going to finalize it and then get back to y'all, but we are very excited. So pilgrimage happens every 2 years, and we take the kids to a location, obviously, outside of Austin. And like last year, they went to DC, and it's usually about a week, 5 days, and it's open to rising high schoolers. So if you're in 8th grade this year and you're going to be in high school next year, you're welcome to join us all the way through to graduating seniors. And we like to do, it's just always amazing. Like last year, they went, unfortunately I couldn't make it, I was getting married, but they went to DC and they went to all the museums and they attended lectures, and Jonathan built a really great curriculum on race and reconciliation. So it was a really great learning process, and so Demery and I are focusing on building out a service component and making sure that where we go, we can not only learn something, but also give back to those communities that we're visiting. So yes, we will be doing lots of fundraising. We're very excited. We're going to do a silent auction this year to coincide with Porch Light, so definitely keep an eye out for that. If you guys have any fundraising ideas, definitely hit us up because you'll be hearing from us. Okay, Demery, you want to launch into?
Well, I have to say how happy I am to be working with Elle. She is just this magical presence for the teens, and she's only with us 10 hours a week. So she does all of those things we just showed you in 10 hours a week. She makes that happen, and probably she does a little more than 10 hours a week. But I'm so happy to come give some of my time, I'm half-time, to supporting Elle. And I especially hope to make my focus supporting the parents of our teens and tweens. So I'm going to be putting out a weekly newsletter for parents of teens and tweens and helping Elle with running parent council meetings. Our parent council will be open to any parents, and the idea will be to support all of those things that are happening. So we'll come to you with our needs, and y'all can step in and help us make sure those things can happen for the kiddos. And we do have some needs that can be met by the whole community. Of course, we love your prayers for our kids, for these teens and tweens. These aren't easy years, but we're going to get through it together. Which is why the newsletter title is All Is Well, All Shall Be Well. And we also could use food donations for youth group. It costs about $100 to feed those kiddos, but if we don't feed them, some of that magic, that table fellowship goes away. So you can donate a meal. You can literally make food and bring it, or you can also just donate the cost of a meal, about $100, and you don't have to give it all at once. You can set it up on Breeze. Kim can show you how, if you don't know, to give $10 a month for 10 months, so that you're giving a meal to the kiddos. And then we also have some special curriculum that we're using. Elle mentioned the Echo the Story for 6th and 7th graders, and the preview of that I saw this week that she sent me was so cool. It's a really neat video series where the kids watch a little video of a Bible story that's told just so mystically, beautifully. And then there's a little interactive journal, and they have a chance to talk about what it means for their lives. And that'll be really wonderful for them. And then I will be leading a class called My Faith, My Life, which is written by a friend of mine, actually from the Diocese of Pennsylvania, Diocese of Bethlehem. She's not there anymore, but I met her there. Her name is Jennifer Gamber, and she has this book called My Faith, My Life, a guide for Episcopal teens, a guide for teenagers to the Episcopal Church. So that's what will happen after dinner and games at youth group. We'll break off into our little groups. And this class will count as confirmation for any of our 8th to 12th grade kids who aren't confirmed yet. If they are confirmed, they'll come, and this will just be a deepening for them. Or if they're not ready to be confirmed, that's okay too. This is a little sign-up link down here for youth group and confirmation, and kind of just gives us a heads up that kiddos will be coming to youth group and confirmation class. And again, kind of like we said with Sunday school, if they cannot make it every week, the kids who are getting confirmed, we hope they'll come to all 6 sessions. But other kiddos, if they can come some weeks and not others, that's okay. Let them come whenever they can, and friends are always, always, always welcome. So yeah, any questions or? Well, thank you.
Yay. Yeah, before Tony comes up, I'm really excited about the year ahead. I mean, I have kids in the youth group, and they love it. I mean, it's, this is also like, the Episcopal Church is also writ large, struggling to find its way with youth ministry. There's some really exciting things happening here. There's a bunch of really engaged kids who are really, really neat people, and open and welcoming and loving, and the group has grown incredibly. Elle came in following Jonathan, who did a great job, amazing job, but he was also doing it full-time. And she's come in and stepped in and really done good. Now that we have Demery to support her, I'm just really excited. I feel like the best is yet to come. Again, pilgrimage year coming, that's exciting. We don't know where they're going yet, but they're getting excited, and there are big dreams, so we'll see. But anyway, but in the past they've gone to Washington, D.C., New York City, Seattle, the San Juan Islands, that's one I led. They've done some really incredible things, and excited to see where they go this year. I didn't say it out loud. I did not say that out loud. But getting warmer. No. And so, anyway, so thank you both. All right, Tony, you want to come talk about the grown-ups?
So I like that title of the book that Demery's working with, My Faith, My Life. That makes me think that one way we could think about what spiritual formation is for all ages. Spiritual formation is about giving us an opportunity to say, what's going on in me? What's going on in my life, in my world? And then what do I believe about that? How does my faith inform that? And we do that in worship when we come and we go through the rhythms of worship, and we bring our praises and petitions and prayers, and then we come into formation time, where we give ourselves a chance to talk with one another about that, to slow down a bit and think about that, and to have this portion of the week when we say, what does it mean to connect my life and my faith? What does it mean to just take an honest look at what's happening in me and in my world? And then say, and what is it that I believe? And what can the people I'm in conversation with remind me that it is that I believe about that? What does it mean to ask hard questions in those moments? And this is just a time where we do that. And I love it. I love meeting with you all. I love organizing a team of folks who come in here and generate those kinds of conversations. It's really fun to sort of hear the buzz happening around the room, and just knowing that, like, really amazing Holy Spirit-led stuff is just happening in here. And I think it happens all the time. So it's a real gift to me to be part of that. One of the things that this will be the second time that we have done this. So one of the things that Episcopal churches do is they practice a sacrament of confirmation, in which we get to actively participate in confirming our own baptisms. And that's true whether you are That's true if you're baptized as an adult or if you're baptized as an infant. We get to actively participate in it. We get to actively think through, learn, And then for those who are baptized as an infant, for instance, we get to say, yeah, that decision my parents made for me and that my church was witness to, I'm ready to buy in. I'm ready to say now I'm informed of what it is that I was being initiated into back then. So all churches do this. What we like to do, and this is the second time we've done it this way, is to offer confirmation class for those who are confirmation curious, or those who are sure that they want to participate in that rite of confirmation. Offer that also combined with an education time, so that for those who just are already confirmed and want a refresher, for those who are exploring the Episcopal Church and want to know more, you can just have that whole big conversation. And then at the end of the the curriculum, those who have decided they want to be confirmed, we've timed it with a bishop's visit so that the confirmation the confirmation can actually happen at the end of the class. So you see here the material we're going to be rolling through and who's going to be participating in that with me. Tina and Ewell and Dimri and Miles. We are going to go through some basics of church history and theology and sort of global demographics of the branch of the church that we are in. We're going to talk about the local community. We're going to talk about particular sacraments. And then wedged in there on a porch light weekend, I'm going to interview Dr. Amy Laura Hall, who's going to talk with us a bit about our I say matron saint. I don't say patron saint. It just makes more sense to me. St. Julian. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about St. Julian and her and help connect the namesake of our church, the one who prays for and blesses our church daily and for whom we pray, with the community here that gathers. So that's going to be fun. One other thing I'm going to say that's just architectural but awesome, along with the moving of the camera so that the room makes a little more sense. One of the things that I was really interested in when we set up this space was a space that we could use flexibly, so that we could move the tables out and put in chairs and do lecture style. We could put in the tables and have discussion style, and we could organize it around an interview, because one of the things I really like to do with this time pretty consistently is talk with someone, have a conversation that then opens up on the rest for the rest of you. That's kind of hard to do, for one thing, when we're sort of wedged over here in the corner, and when we're sort of sitting at your level in chairs. It's kind of here's our interview. Hi everybody, can you see us? Kim got us some amazing furniture, and she got these chairs. She reupholstered the chairs. Made a second try with these little tables so that we could actually set coffee on them and it wouldn't sort of wobble off and topple on the floor. And got them in time for my interview with Dr. Hall. So this is, you saw, if you were at church a couple of weeks ago when I interviewed Michelle out in the worship space, that was our dry run with this, and it was awesome and perfect. So thank you, Kim, for making this happen. I hope you'll participate. If you know folks who are taking first steps into the church and want to know more, interested in knowing more about what is this church here, and what are we part of, and what's the story, how did we come to be, this is a great fall for them to join with us in these conversations.
Thanks, Tony. So just a couple, I forgot my part with the youth, so I'll circle back to that. But before we do, I'll just say that really excited about this. I feel like, and I hope it feels like this. We're not gonna do this where we all do confirmation together every year, because that may feel like too much. But I like coming back to it every couple of years. I mean, I'm one of these. They're fewer and far between these days. But I'm a lifer in the Episcopal Church, cradle Episcopalian, right? So, Steve, all right, excellent. How many people have been Episcopalian their whole lives? Okay, so you see, this is what most of the church actually looks like. It's usually about 25 to 40%. Actually, most of the Episcopal Church were not born Episcopalians. Having said that, I am, and I'm still learning constantly about the Episcopal Church. I'm still reading good books about the Episcopal Church. I'm still getting into Anglican thought and theology. I'm still reading theologians I've never read from our tradition, which is just to say, I like this idea of us doing this together every couple, going back to our roots. And I also feel like those of you that are, again, Episcopalians for whom were confirmed in 8th grade and have come to church every Sunday since, then you're a teacher. You get to be a part of the conversation and sharing your experience with those who are new to us. And so I see this as really a good community thing for us to do every couple of years, not every year, but every couple of years. And so I'm excited to bring it back this year. So I will say, if you are in this room and you are not confirmed, I hope that you'll consider participating and pray about that. You certainly don't have to be, but if you do feel like being confirmed, which is to confirm your baptism, to make an adult affirmation of faith when the bishop comes, which is how you formally join the Episcopal Church and St. Julian's, I hope you'll consider that. Let me know. Email me separately, because I'm going to keep a list of those who are in that category, so I can be giving you important dates about the bishop's visit and stuff like that. Yeah, Wanda, were you going to ask a question? We'll make it available. I think it would be a good thing to have. Yeah. No, there's a general information, but not the. We'll get it out. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I will say, just so you know, that bishop's visit, if you are, because here's the thing also. What I hope is that some people who participate in this class will choose to join St. Julian's and the Episcopal Church formally. Everybody's welcome, but formally through the rite of confirmation, which is, again, an adult affirmation of faith made in the presence of the bishop. But I hope the rest of us will go to support them. So let me say, the bishop's visit is Saturday, November 8th at 5 p.m. Saturday, November 8th at 5 p.m. Really a bummer when the bishop does that. I really like them to be here on Sunday mornings, right? We don't get a Sunday off preaching. I mean, no, I'm kidding. That is true, but that isn't the most important reason. It's because I don't, yeah, exactly. No, but it's because, like, everybody's there, and it's more joyous and more celebratory. Of course, like, doesn't matter what happens. When the bishop comes Saturday night, not everybody's going to be here. So it's just, but we have a big diocese, which is a blessing, and 71,000 Episcopalians in the Diocese of Texas. And so the bishops are busy, and they can't always get here on Sunday. So most years we get a Sunday visit. This year we didn't. So it's Saturday, November 8th at 5 o'clock p.m. All right, and we'll have dinner or reception afterwards together. Okay, so that's that. One other thing I just wanted to note on this schedule is the blessing of the animals. You see October 5th. Just to kind of you all get to hear first because you came. The Blessing of the Animal service is going to be at 9 a.m. and not 11:15 a.m. this year. We're doing that because it's like that's when most people come anyway, and 9 o'clock's our bigger service. But mainly it's because the sun will be lower in the sky, and so we'll have more shade on that side of the building, and hopefully we'll be a little cooler. So it's going to be at 9 instead of 11:15. And then between services, it's just there's too much going on. We're just going to have play with each other's animals, meet the pet children of your neighbors and friends, and we'll have dog biscuits, and we'll have coffee and donuts as always, and we'll hang out between services that Sunday. Then at 11:15 we will have a normal service for those who, for allergies or heat or whatever, prefer to just have a normal service that Sunday. We'll do that at 11:15. If that makes sense. I'd say it since Tony kindly put it up there. You're right, Wanda. It's really helpful. Last thing I was going to say is that I didn't note at the outset or at the right time, which is when Elle and Dimry were up here, is that one of the great joys in my life is that I get to teach the middle and high school Sunday school class on Sundays. And so, that's one of the great blessings of having Tony here, right? Because that would be my responsibility if we didn't have a theologian in residence. And so I'm really grateful for that. Because the youth fill my sails, and because I believe that every church that I've been in who has had a healthy, growing, thriving youth program, guess what? The whole church was healthy, growing, and thriving. I've seen that over and over and over again. And I began my career as a youth minister, and sometimes I wonder why I'm still not. No, I'm just kidding. Us grown-ups, we get wounded and a little jaded, and life gets harder, right? Kids still love to learn through play, and the world is still a place of infinite possibility, and that's a real blessing to be around, really. I'm kidding, but I do still love our kids, and that's how I kind of keep my foot in the door in a relationship with them. We do. It is admittedly very unscripted. I gather topics of interest from them, and then kind of do really basic Bible study and conversation around it. I call it companions for the journey. But it really works. And so, and I've been doing it for a while, so I usually can come up with something to say. But anyway, but really it's what they say that always blows me away. So that's between services. At the same time, Tony's doing his thing in here, and Jennifer's doing her thing with the kids in those other rooms. In the youth room is where we meet, 10:20 to 11:05. And Elle helps out a lot with that, because sometimes I need to be with the adults. And so when that happens, or I'm gone, Elle typically stands in for me, for which I'm grateful. Okay, I think we've done all of them. There's nothing wrong with finishing a little early. But does anybody have any questions at all? Yeah, Richard. Yep. Yes, we are. We want them to come again. So share the information. It was on Steffi's agenda to ask again, I think. But anyway, yes is the short answer. Yeah. Yes. So Laura's going to help run it this year. So that's who. Yeah, check out. But yes, we very much want Because I Matter to come back. Just at 9 instead of 11:15. Yeah, sorry. Here's what going to prison looks like. That'll be a pop. And I'll say there, that's another way to sponsor a meal. You can individually as a family, but if there are ministry leaders here, we really want outreach to provide a meal. And if you do that, we will definitely let you have time with the kids. Like if your ministry is willing to sponsor a dinner, recovery, adult spiritual formation, whatever. Like if you'll provide dinner on Sunday night, and again, you can cook it. You don't have to. It's $100 if we have to order Raising Cane's. It doesn't have to cost that much if you do it yourself. And so but if your ministry sponsors a dinner, you absolutely 10 minutes with them, 15 minutes with them. Talk about what your ministry is, why it's important, how it brings you life, all those things. Yeah, Jimmy. I think it's full. Is it full? Yeah. She said maybe one or two more, but I think they have 10 now, and that's kind of their. I'm sorry. Yeah, for anybody who's wanting to do. But I'm really happy about that. But I am sorry. I will say, being with the idea is, for those that kind of know some of this kind of history, it's sort of based on the Alpha model. Program. And so the idea is that you get one group through, and then if some people who really enjoyed it want to continue it, you do it. It becomes multiple small groups. Like they begin to lead their own being with groups, if that makes sense. So my hope is actually this is just the very beginning of being with at St. Julian's, and that like in the next semester there'll be 2 being with groups, and then 3, and then 4. I mean, that's the idea. And so anyway, but I think if you're really interested, do see Jill, because like I said, there may be 1 or 2. She may go up to 12, but anyway. Workshop. Yeah, September 20, Saturday, September 27th, 10 to 2, I believe. That's just off the top of my head. 9 to 12? Okay. Anyway, it's in the weekly email, correct. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Nan. And I just want you all to know, I love it when people are doing things from St. Julian's and other Episcopal churches, because none of us can do all of the interesting things. And we are one big family. And so thank you for noting that. And yeah, I highly recommend. Trace of the Trade is amazing if you haven't seen it. We've shown it twice at St. Julian's. It's an incredible documentary. Yeah. Thank you for making that plug. Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Like Breeze is, we have, like people always like, do we have a directory? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all, everybody's in Breeze. And if you don't want to be, quite frankly, that's a good reason to go sign up. We don't share all of your information, and it's only available to members. But, you know, like your email address, phone number, and name are the only three things that are on there. But yeah, like it's a, you know, if you sign up, you know, and you need to reach out to Laura about a mission and growth thing, like go to Breeze and put Laura in the search thing, and you'll find her. You'll find her contact information. And so, you know, anyway, so yeah, I highly recommend, please do Breeze. And put your picture in. Put your picture, exactly. Thank you, Steve. Put your picture in so that, you know, you can just pick your favorite one off your phone. It's, you know, like all these things these days. You can just choose a photo that's already there. And so I hope you'll do that. Yeah, Robbie. Calendar's updated. Good. Yeah, the calendar is there. Yes, thank you. There's more. Yeah, the calendar, all the sign-up forms. Your giving through Breeze, quite frankly, your giving is, particularly if you're kind enough to check the box to cover the fee, you are making money for, you're giving St. Julian's even more money, and I'll tell you why. Because we don't have to pay Kim as much. When she has to process checks, it takes her more time. When you give through Breeze, she doesn't have to do that. And so we actually like it's better for St. Julian's financially to do that. If you're kind enough to cover, there's a little box to check the little bit that they charge us. So, yeah, a lot to do on Breeze. Yes. Absolutely. Bee's been doing such a good job as our social media minister, yeah. So like, I met with her like 2 weeks after I got back from vacation. So it was still in July. I can't remember exactly when. And she'd been doing it since basically June 1st. So it'd been like, you know, I'll call it 7 weeks. And we had racked up 24,000 views on our Instagram page since she took over. And so anyway, doing an amazing job, and I'm really grateful for that. So, yeah. All right, ready break. Thank you.